Avoid these three side hustles that I'm gonna share with you on this video. You know why? They are quite popular and they're scams. Especially the side hustle number 3 is quite popular and it's out there, and a lot of guys are losing money out there being promised huge returns after the investments. You know what? Stick around and get to understand what is this number 3 side hustle that is quite popular and people are losing money with it. All right, stick around. So anyway, I'm gonna share the entire information on this video from the side hustle number 1, number 2, and number 3, so that you understand it. Don't get yourself into this trap of losing your money and then you're coming back here to us and telling us, hey, I lost money and such kind of a things. All right. So anyway, if you're new on my channel, I usually post a video each and every day, early in the morning, so that at least I give you new tips and new areas where you can be able to earn some extra money, invest your money, and such kind of a thing. All right. So if you don't want to miss any piece of my good video, take 1 second. Doesn't cost you anything. It is free of charge. Just down below there on your right, there is a button written subscribe. It is in black. Hit that magical button. Then on the left, there is a like button. If you hit those two magical buttons, guess what? You just sit back, then YouTube will notify you when I upload a good new video. Right? So let's get into today's business. Now, what are these three side hustles that are quite popular and you're supposed to avoid them at all the cost? All right? And I'm gonna reserve number 3 as the most popular one. Okay, so let's go to point number 1. So the side hustle number 1 that you're supposed to avoid at all the cost, especially men, you know what I'm heading to. These things called the sure bets, and people are selling odds and they're telling you, hey, you know what, purchase with us odds worth 2,500. They are sure bets, and then they give you like an odd of 140, 200, and then they promise you like a huge returns of 100,000, 200,000, 500,000, sometimes even a million or some kind of a things. Let me tell you one thing. Sometimes it's good to ask yourself a very simple question. If then they have those sure bets, as they call them, then why until they just go ahead and place them and have all the money that they're promising? One thing that you're supposed to understand, there is nothing like sure bet. There is nothing, or nobody can be able to predict, or nobody has the information or what team will win and such kind of a thing. I fell into the trap of that kind of a thing before. And what I learned was a huge lesson, because I lost a lot of money thinking that it's true. They're gonna give me sure bets and I'm gonna place them and I'm gonna get myself rich or make a lot of money. So at all the cost, if you're out there gambling, and of which I do not advocate for gambling, you can only gamble with that amount of money that you can afford to lose. Not gambling in the name of like, this is my main hustle, this is what I do, and this is how I make my money. So at all the cost, you're supposed to understand one thing. Gambling should be taken with what we call a pinch of salt. You're supposed to understand you should bet just as a fun, not as a source of making income. And if you can go to extreme further of now purchasing those sure bets, quote unquote sure bets, or bet odds, and I don't know, whatever. And then these people, they have like an ending Telegram channels whereby they add you, or maybe they just tell you, hey, you know what, follow this channel and then you get all the odds, I don't know, 1,500, 2,000 or something of sort. You're supposed to avoid all those areas, because those are the loopholes where a lot of guys are losing their money to, because these things are scams and they cannot be able to make you money in any way. So you're supposed to avoid all that kind of a side hustle. You think like you'll be buying those sure bets or sure odds, so that at least you can be able to bet. What I can advise you to do, if then you have to gamble, if you then you have to bet out there, of course with the money that you can afford to lose, you sit down on yourself, analyze the game on yourself, and then be able to place your own bet if you have to. But again, I'll say this: if it's about you betting as a side hustle, or rather as a main hustle, avoid it at all cost. You can only do so as for fun and purposes, because these are areas that you cannot be able to be assured that you'll be able to make money. All right, so let's go to number 2. What is this side hustle that you're supposed to avoid? Number 2, the number 2 side hustle that you're supposed to avoid, it's all about trading with bots. This is quite popular, especially with a lot of guys are telling you, hey, you know what, I'm selling bots. Bots are working when it comes to forex trading. You can be able to make money using bots, and they are like artificial intelligence that they just place odds for, trades for you. They take profits for you, they minimize losses. Actually, they end up to a point telling you like they do not even have a losses at all, and those kind of things. So these trading bots, honestly speaking, they exist. Yes, they are there, and what they are just software programs that has been made to make sure, or maybe to just monitor the market, and they can be able to place you a bet, they can, or rather trade, and be able to take your profit and stop losses and what kind of a thing. So they're quite popular out there with people who are yearning to become forex traders, so that at least they can be able to make money. But at the same time, time I cannot shy away to tell you that you're supposed to avoid these things at all cost, because in the process you might get a wrong boat, and in the process you can be able to be scammed. And some of these boats are cost very expensive. You find that a boat is costing you like 30,000, 40, 50, 100,000, or even more than that. The more expensive the boat is, they assure you that the higher chances of you making money are there. So one thing I will tell you, first of all, do not try to separate between boat trading and also forex trading. Forex trading is real, it's doable, you can be able to get the skill, be able to trade on yourself, and you just need what you call a human touch in that forex trading. So for you, you can be able to go ahead, learn the skills, and be able to do exactly those trading. You don't have, it's not a must that you use those boat trading. Actually, I was reading a certain article and as well watching other videos on YouTube, and observing and following these great what do we call them, the great forex traders, or the traders, and none of them actually I saw them using anything to do with bots. So at all the cost, what does that tell you? Meaning, seriously, you just sit back, do your own thing, just try to understand that everything and anything takes time. Get yourself the appropriate and right skills, and then in the process you'll be able to actually go ahead and trade by yourself without using all these bots, so that at least you'll be able to make money at the end of the day. So what exactly am I saying? Forex trading is real, that's for a fact. Some people are making money out of it, but if you do not have the appropriate skills, then of course you are prone to making losses and blowing your account. That's for sure. One thing you're supposed to understand with forex trading, you're supposed to get the skills first. Concentrate on getting the appropriate skills first. You can either enroll to a school whereby they teach forex, you can pick an individual who teaches forex, or you can just teach yourself. It is possible you can just learn by yourself in one way or the other. But the point is this: at all costs, try to avoid these forex trading bots, and that's the way you can be able to get the appropriate skills, and you avoid you losing your money. Instead of you taking that 40,000 going to buy that bot that at the end of the day will discourage you, how about you use that 40,000, go get the skills, go get the appropriate skills, get your time, invest on your time, set aside a little bit of money, put it on your live account. You see, when you see your money going, that's the time you develop discipline, and in the process you become a profitable trader as the time goes by. It takes time, that's for sure. I cannot deny about you, and that one I'm not gonna promise you like huge returns in a very short period of time. It all takes time before you become a profitable trader. All right, so now here we come to point number 3, or side hustle number 3, that you've been waiting for. And guess what? I was almost to fall a trap onto this, and I bet a lot of people have fallen trap into this, especially these guys who are in campuses, those guys who are about to clear their campuses, or those guys who are outside here. These things, we call them MLM schemes, or we call them pyramidal schemes, or others are called them Ponzi schemes. What are these kind of things? Have you ever been approached by a guy who is neatly dressed, maybe from the WhatsApp, you don't even know where they got your number, and then they tell you, hey, you know what, my name is Flani Flani, I would like to introduce you to a thing that you can be able to be making money each and every day. If you like to know, just type yes. There you are, innocently you type yes, and then they follow a very big automated text there explaining how you can just work from your home. What are the requirements? It's almost to none. Anybody can work, employed and unemployed, like you've never learned, you've never, like literally they make that statement look like anybody can qualify for that specific job, so that they can be able to get a maximum number of people. So at that point, now they tell you this is what you're supposed to do. The only thing that you need is only like 15,000 or 20,000 or 23,000 for you to get enrolled and get money at the end of the day. So I don't want to name these companies. I bet you've ever heard of them. I don't want to rub shoulders with anybody, but you know very well these companies. And then after that, they tell you once you purchase this product, then this is what happened. You'll be getting, I don't know, binary reward, somebody on the left, somebody on the right. Now this person enrolled another person, then you get money, then another one enrolled another person. So you'll be just having people at your bottom, then they'll be making money for you, then you'll be at the top there. You'll be, have you ever heard of those kind of things? We call them the pyramidal scheme. The reason why I'm saying they're called pyramidal scheme is because if you can just try to picture how that thing looks like, you find like you're at the top there, and then two guys are on the right and the left, and those two guys get another to those two guys, so that thing keep on expanding like this. So that thing, that's why it's assumed like a pyramid kind of a scheme. And the point is this: those kind of a pyramid kind of a scheme is prone to collapse, that's for sure, because those guys at the top relies on the guys on the bottom to make money, and also those guys on the bottom rely on making future guys to recruit those guys so that they can be able to make money. You see, when the business or when a company cannot substantiate how they be able to make money for them to pay their employees or whoever they call you, then that means that they're just relying on the newcomers to pay the older investors, and in the process, when there is no newcomers, then the older investors don't get the money, and those people who just joined recently, definitely they lose money, and that's how things that is prone to collapse. And you have to identify these things very keenly, because some of the examples or some of the characteristics that you'll be able to see with these companies, it's one. First of all, they usually send you a table. Okay, nowadays it's sort of a graduated. Now they send you a very nice table stipulating all the information there. They tell you, hey, you know what, if you invest with us like 10,000, then you'll be able to be getting like 600 per day. If you invest with us like 20,000, you'll be getting like 1,200. You invest with us like 30, 40,000, 100,000, you'll be getting yourself like a 20,000 in a single day. Others that don't even have manners, they just tell you like you can even make double of whatever you've invested, right? So the question is this now. Just tell me, if you're a business person and you can think about money or finance, just tell me, what's that can you invest with 10,000, be getting that amount of money, and you're promised that you're gonna get that amount of money each and every day? Simply tells you that these guys, they're just another way of pyramidal scheme. Those guys who get enrolled, they pay the previous investors, then those who are enrolled, like just push up to enroll others new so that they pay the. That's how it goes. Then at the end of the day, it collapses and you do not make money out of it. One thing that I'll tell you, and I would like you to hear this and understand it, incorporate it in your life, because it's very essential and very important. One thing that you're supposed to understand with money, time is needed. Time, 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 time. You need to get time. There is no way I can tell you, hey, you know what, just send me that 10,000, and then listen, at the evening I'll give you like 11,000, like that 10,000, and then we are top of 1,000, or maybe I tell you like I'll give you like 3,000. There is nothing like that on earth ever happened. Once you set up a business worth 10,000, one thing, it requires time. Number two, it requires dedication. Number three, it requires you discipline. So you cannot just send somebody's money and then after that they just send you money out of nowhere. You have to ask yourself, where are they putting my money for me to be able to earn that extra huge amount of money? That's very simple. It's a question that you need to ask yourself. Don't be ignorant, because if you be, then at the end of the day you're being controlled by greed, and once you're controlled by greed, that's the way you're about to be get scammed. So you're supposed to be very careful whenever you put your money. I would say if you have your 10,000, you have your 20,000, you'll have to get in one thing, then consider taking your time, especially with young people. When you tell them time, like you can tell them take 1 year, dedicate like 6 months in getting a skill over something, they feel like that's too much and whatever. One day you'll come to understand that it's never too much. Okay, that's the reality. Sometimes I usually receive calls from guys who are about to go to retire and they're still yearning to do something, and if you tell them, hey, take 3 or 4 months and learn something, they're ready to do that because they have learned something in life. Maybe if you get this message, incorporate it in your life and be able to proceed to the next level. That will be the most essential thing. All right, so anyway, if this is the first time you're watching this video, or rather this channel, my name is Joseph. Talk about money, investment, and anything related to exactly that. If you're there, you're still confused, you do not know what business you would like to start, you got your money there saved somewhere, you can get my booklets about investments, about business plans, about business ideas, about money market fund, treasury bills, treasury bonds, and all those kind of things. I still have booklets of business plans and ready for you. Copy it only to 280, those about investments about 220, and you can get my number from the description of this specific video. Give me a call, text, then we talk business and proceed to the next level. For now, it's a goodbye and see you in the next one. And don't forget to comment down below. Tell me what you think. I'm a believer. Just like an iron sharpens another iron, so do we learn from each other. Right? So goodbye and see you.